saw something recently, and it was an argument between a couple of people of different religions. And one person was trying gently to get across their points, and the other person was taking offense and being angry and arguing in a quarrelsome manner. And I realized something when I saw and heard all of these things. I realized that the more sense that the one person made, the more angry the other person became, because it wasn't what they already thought or believed, and they didn't know what to say, they didn't know what to do, so they got angry. Now I was wondering, to my knowledge, to my observation, to my reading of history, it seems to me like the people who were of some sort of original structure of a religion or a belief were always killed off and murdered by those who came along claiming to re-represent, or in a newer fashion to represent something that had been but had been changed in some way, that was no longer of the original structure. And so the people were killed off to silence them, to get rid of them, to shut them up, My question in seeing what I saw recently is this the same spirit carried on from back in the Inquisition and Crusades day? The spreading of some idea that cannot exist the way it exists without the destruction of the original. Because the example of the original seems to suggest that it was never changed. So something new that comes along, whatever it may be, will try to destroy everyone that still represents what had been before it, because it's a testimony against authenticity of something new. Okay, I'm being vague at this point. Let me get a little more specific. I believe that people of a spiritual nature in history that were closest to truth were always peaceful, and always tried to help the other person or the other side of the equation understand what it was they didn't understand as a help. But people furthest from the truth or closest to a lie seemed to be prone to attack in anger and possibly even violence. So it comes down to this. A person of truth is willing to die for the truth. A person of a lie is willing to kill for the lie. That's what I believe is the principle at work, spiritually, in this world, and it's been that way for a long, 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 long time. Does the truth need a defender? Does the Almighty need a defender when it comes down to it? He is, and the truth is exactly what it is, with or without anyone, with or without you, me, or anyone else. It simply is. And it will be unchanging and undying forever, from before the world till after the world. It always is exactly what it is. Now we can tap into it. We can commune with it. We can learn of it or from it. But through a process of giving up and sacrifice and yielding something of ourselves and something of this world to gain or understand it. But it always is peaceable. It's supposed to be an example to learn from. And if anyone is motivated by the example, then they will become that, possibly. You can't use a sword or a gun or a closed fist or anything like that to emphasize something that's true. You may have those things used on you by this world and its system and its ways and its peoples of various whatever, But the truth does not kill, or maim, or hate, or discriminate. There are good and bad examples in every types of people or every types of religion in this world. Good and bad examples, I've noticed. I'm sure you've noticed. So, it's also important to know who's really following the exact depth and meaning behind the text that's being believed in by someone. You know, because it's not always the written words, but how people believe in those written words that makes all the difference. I'll go ahead and do another video at some point of my viewpoints on the difference between what someone believes and what they say or write, if they're a writer, you know. And thank you very much for my for your patience. I know that sometimes I speak slowly and sometimes I take too many pauses. And forgive me. Thank you so much for your patience. I'm trying to speed it up. My wife had advised me that, you know, I was a little bit boring and slow and stuff. I try to speed it up. Okay, thank you.